the season on Comic Book. That's right. It's December. It is the time of Hanukkah, Christmas, and Kwanzaa, and all the other things that everybody celebrates. It's time to have a good time, get with family, and just, again, reflect on the year that was 2023. We are entering that month. It is the 3rd of December. We have 4 more shows, including this one, left on the canon. I cannot believe where this year has gone, how quickly it's flown by. But I do want to say how grateful I am to the audience and my good friend, partner in crime, and co-host of the show. His name is Joseph. How's it going there, Hot Stuff?
Yo. Tough day today for the birds, but that's okay. Other than that, it was a good day. Got to hang out with some friends for a little Friendsgiving with my normie friends, my non-comic friends. A little break from comics.
I didn't know we were. Wow, okay, yeah. Your normie friends? Okay.
The normie, the non-comic people. It's fun. It's funny. I was just talking about this. I have a lot of hobbies. I skateboard. I play Magic the Gathering. So when I talk about my normie friends to my comic people, I'm talking about my Magic the Gathering friends and my friends that I skateboard with. But when I talk about it to my skateboarding friends, I call you guys the normie friends.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. I love that. Never thought of it that way, but it's good to have a diverse set of friends. It brings different perspectives, different ideas, and new and interesting things into your life. So I am grateful to you because you are well-rounded in many ways, if you know what I mean.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. With that being said, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving if they celebrated. Great time with friends, family, etc. I had a good time. I got some turkey time in, was with my girlfriend and her family. That was a good time, I have to say. And again, I hope you all had I know you had a good Thanksgiving as well, and a Friendsgiving today. So lots of celebrating going on towards the end of this year. We got a lot of stuff. Shoot, we have to announce the Fresh from the Comic Shop winner. And that's a problem because now, guys, I don't know if you know, I'm using my phone as a camera. We'll have to pull that off somehow. I think we will. We have technology. It's 2023, right? We should be able to do this.
I believe it is 2023. It's actually almost 2024.
You're right. So I'm going to figure this out maybe while you're doing the news. So why don't we just get to the news right now? We have a bevy. Is bevy the right word? Is that a good word to use of Marvel news? Bevy.
A plethora. Yeah, it's all Marvel news this week. Yeah. There's one piece of news that I don't think we added that's kind of DC, but
okay.
Yeah, we got Marvel. Shall we? Absolutely. Let's get into it. Now, there have been rumors for a very, very long time, basically since he died in the MCU back in 2019, that Tony Stark was coming back. We heard it's going to be Tom Cruise as Tony Stark. We heard it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. reprising the role. We heard he's going to be in Secret Wars. We heard he's going to be in Armor Wars, Secret Invasion. There have been rumor after rumor after rumor, but again, these things are just rumors. Kevin Feige actually weighed in on this. He said outright, there are no plans to bring Tony Stark back. He didn't say Robert Downey Jr. He said Tony Stark, I believe. Might be wrong about that, but no plans to bring this character back to the screen. Now, could he be trying to throw us off? Absolutely. But there are, these are rumors. There's rumors out there. I see people posting rumors every single day as if it is cold, hard facts. And we have to remember, a rumor is a rumor until it's not anymore, until the real thing, it's announced by someone who's in the know, Robert Downey Jr. himself, Kevin Feige. Someone comes out and says, yes, this is happening, or when we finally do see it. I really don't have an opinion on the character coming back. A lot of people were like really excited as if that were a thing that was going to happen. Other people say, no, let these dead characters stay dead. I could go either way. Great character, obviously a great actor, one of the greatest castings in all of comic book movie history. But at the same time, like, we had him for a long time, and I don't necessarily want to see more Tony Stark Iron Man. I want to see these newer characters. I want to see a fleshed out Moon Knight. I want to see the X-Men finally hit the MCU. So
well said. Again, I think I'm in the same boat as you. As long as the story is done well, right? I'd be okay. Again, as long as the story is done well, it's done right. but it's that those expectations are so high for him or Chris Evans to come back. I don't
Right.
see that. It's really, they're setting themselves up for failure, honestly, in a way. And let's just move on and get some fresh new perspectives, diverse characters, different other characters that we have not seen yet on the big screen or even TV in any iteration. There's so many. There's thousands and thousands of characters. That's why we love this universe and or these universes and these characters so much. So it's exciting to potentially see, I have to say.
Yeah, and there's also, lets us hop into our next piece of news story, which is a character who has appeared, although not in the MCU officially, but one who is coming back. And this one does not seem like a rumor to me. This one seems like it is really going to happen. Just the news sources that are reporting on this seem a lot more legitimate than the random unreliable sources. So this one pertains to a certain Laura Kinney, X-23. Daphne Keane absolutely annihilated this role. This was by far the best child actor that I've seen in the MCU. And I'm going to even include like the actors in their like late teens and early 20s. And she was like 10 years old when this movie was filmed.
Ridiculous.
Something like that, 10 or 11. This movie was great. She was the best part of it as well. And that's saying a lot with her acting next to Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, who are both not only great actors, but beloved in the roles that they play. I am so excited for this. By the way, this is pertaining to Deadpool 3. Obviously there's going to be a clash of the Fox and Marvel universes, universi, whatever we want to do there. Very excited to see this. And honestly, I said going forward in the MCU, I would love to see an X-23 Wolverine. We've gotten years, 15, more than 15 years, 20 years, basically.
Yeah, it's 2001. It's like 22 years. I think.
Okay. Over 20 years of Logan Wolverine live action content. And it's going to be hard to top Hugh Jackman in that role. So why don't we give it a little bit of breathing space before we get a Wolverine? Why not have X-23 be the Wolverine of the MCU? I would love to see it.
I would absolutely love to see this as well. Again, because there's more to her story. There's way more to her story the way we left off in Logan. Who knows how they would incorporate her into any sort of cohesive universe, but she was outstanding in that role. A little concerned again with Deadpool and how much they're rumored to bring in. I have a question of what sources are saying Daphne is going to be making her return as X-23.
You really gonna put me on the spot?
No,
I don't know. I don't know specifically which sources, but generally when I see rumors like this, I search around, and if it's more legitimate sites that are saying it, it's more likely to be true than if you see it on, Giant Freaking Robot, and that's the original source, and then some other offshoots of other websites that are very clearly rumor-based clickbait websites are reporting on it. I'm seeing a lot more certainty with this one, so fingers crossed that it is real.
Yeah, no, I agree too. I wasn't putting you on the spot there. I really did not know. You were the one that told me about this, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see this potentially happen. So, well, I'm excited to see it happen. I would love for it to happen. Let's put it that way. Moving on, though, some more news from the MCU. A little shakeup. We had that shakeup happen. I think the director of Shang-Chi left Avengers: Secret Wars. Which left a whole bunch of things. So I think the writer left as well. And now here we are, which I think is great news. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, this is in my opinion really great news. Other than this is one of the best things that we're getting, other than the Russo brothers coming back to do the next couple Avengers movies. But this actually pertains to, like you said, a shakeup in the writing for Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Kang Dynasty. Looks like we're getting Michael Waldron, who you may know as the writer for the Loki series, which, let's be real, one of the best things that the MCU has done post Endgame. So
good.
Clearly the writing was good. These were 2 seasons of a show that really, and not only were they great and they're entertaining, but they didn't really have the pull of Iron Man and Hulk being in them and stuff like that. This was Loki, not that Loki's not a character that's popular and been around for a while, but it's not Iron Man, Cap, Hulk. It's not Spider-Man. This is a character that's really grown on his own in the MCU and been able to pull his own 2 seasons show. And I love that.
Well said. That's so well said, because again, it was Loki, almost the butt of jokes at times, definitely a malicious kind of villain in the MCU, but to give this take to the mainstream, like, it was really so well done. And this second season was just, they took it up a notch from the previous season. It was outstanding. So yeah. I'm very, very excited for this as well. And I think you're excited for this next news story. I don't want to speak for you.
I am, because I'm a fan of this person. I'm a fan of Raimi, who he's worked with a bunch. This one is really interesting. I kind of related this to the Stan Lee cameos that we've seen in the MCU. It's a little bit different, but it seems as if Bruce Campbell might be playing a larger role in the MCU. He's shown up in, the Raimi vs. Spider-Man movies after, working on so many films with Sam Raimi. And then he's also shown up most recently in Multiverse of Madness, which again was a Sam Raimi film. And the interesting thing about this is that it seems as though the different iterations of this character, this different characters that this actor has played in the MCU, may actually just be variants of each other in different universes, which I think that's really cool. We've seen him a bunch over the years, going all the way back to I'm pretty sure it was in all 3 of the Tobey Maguire movies.
He was, as different characters too.
Yeah, right. So, that would be really cool to, have a new little cameo character appear. Obviously, no one's going to replace Stan Lee. Let's be real about that.
But it would be nice to see something like that, a little nod, have fun with it. I mean, he was great in. The role was super small, but in
right.
The Doctor Strange sequel. So I love it. I absolutely love this idea.
And this is really cool. I actually have a little fact tidbit that definitely has to do with the comic book community here. Stan Lee, if you include cameo roles like Stan Lee has had, he has a bigger box office bring in than any actor ever. Which, if you think about it, makes sense. He was in every one of the MCU movies up to a certain point, up to his passing. So all of those movies, you add up the box office, and he outweighs actors that have been in hundreds and hundreds of movies. He's outweighing Frank Welker, who has done voices for the past 60, 70 years.
That's incredible. I mean, on top of the fact that he created most of these characters too, by the way.
Right.
Which is cool. Which is mind-blowing. But I mean, all the way back to the he cameoed in X-Men. There may have been some 90s films he was in as well. He's in Mallrats, which is great, by the way.
Yeah,
X-Men, he was in the Raimi Spider-Mans. I do believe all of them. So yeah, that's such an amazing stat. It's so true, but I never thought of it that way. It's so true. Anyways, that is really that's a nice way to tie a little bow in a festive spirit.
This is the truth. Stan Lee, 18 cameos, no full first appearance.
That is great. It's a nice way to tie a bow on around the news here. Speaking of news, that we have some sad news to pass along to you. I think a few of you already know this, but Chris wanted us to kind of give a shout out. His father passed away this past week. Big influence on his life. We want to dedicate this show to his father, who was a Niners fan, by the way. And I think Chris and his father sitting up there probably has a nice smile on his face, beating Joe and my Eagles. But just want to kind of pass that along. And a huge impact this man has had in Chris's life. And as most of you know, he's been dealing with a lot of just watching his father kind of get worse and worse in his condition. So again, thoughts and prayers to Chris's family all the love as well. Please send him a note if you want to on Instagram. I don't know when he will get to it. He's dealing with a lot, obviously, when a parent passes away. You know, it's a lot of other things that are involved in that as well. So again,
and just to note, he is going to be taking a break from social media. So if he doesn't respond, that's why. You know, don't be concerned about him. He's spending time with the family right now,
as he should.
And I'm sure at some point he will be back with the videos, with the content, with the Instagram posts. But yeah, just give him time. If you want to send him something short and sweet, that'd be a great way to do so. But yeah, he'll be back.
He will be back. Okay, so moving on, we're going to say hello to you fine people in a hot second. I have two things to say. I want to remind you, first of all, to send us an Ask Joe question. Am I right, Joe?
Yeah, we're going to be doing that segment as soon as we say hello to everyone. So if you have a question, you can put it in the chat now.
And please go for it. Actually, start thinking about those questions. Start putting them in the chat. But first of all, before we get to your hellos, we have to get hello to another part of the canon, a guy that stuck up for us many times in the past few weeks. Seems to be more of a team player. Am I right, Joe?
Yeah, he's growing on me a little bit.
He really is, and he is in the festive spirit as well. Please welcome Chet to the show.
Ho, 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 comic book enthusiasts. It's your jolly old comic book king, Chet, here to spread some holiday cheer. Hey there, Jeff and Joe. I see you're ready for another amazing episode of the canon. I just want to let you know I'm here to announce an epic giveaway. The first person to tag me in an Instagram post with their favorite comic book will win an original copy of Detective Comics 27. So grab your phones, fire up Instagram, and let's spread some holiday cheer. Remember, the only rule is to tag me in your Instagram post with your favorite comic book. And don't forget to use the hashtag Chet's Comic Book Holiday. Happy holidays, comic book enthusiasts.
No.
We are not giving away Detective Comics 27.
No.
We do not have a budget, let alone budget to buy another book. Everything else is Chet, that is absolutely ridiculous.
No.
Were we just not praising him?
Yeah, we were. And then he goes and pulls something. No, guys.
No,
listen.
Chet, that's ridiculous.
Oh boy. Folks, it seems my giveaway plans have hit a snag. Jeff and Joe have decided not to fund the Detective Comics 27 giveaway. Fear not, I'm still determined to spread holiday cheer. Keep an eye on my social media for updates. Remember, the holidays are about giving, not receiving, so go out there and spread some joy. And as for my superhero holiday costume, it's a testament to my creativity and my unwavering love for comic books. I designed it myself, paying homage to the iconic Detective Comics 27 cover. So while the giveaway may be on hold, my holiday spirit is still going strong. Chet out.
That guy is seriously going to be the demise of this show. I really believe that. I truly believe that. Very generous to be able to give away Detective Comics number 27 on our budget, on our dime, which we have none of. So anyways, nice to see him in the holiday spirit. We have 3 more shows with him, by the way. So let's see what other shenanigans he's going to get into.
Yeah, and you know what? We should mention that right now because we were just talking about this the other day. Look out for an official announcement of day and time on this. We realized that Sunday night, the last 2 Sundays of the month are Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. We obviously aren't going to have shows that night. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one show in the week in between that. So the week between Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, sometime during that week, we'll do a show. It'll be our last show of the year, our 4th show of December, so we can have 4 semifinalists for the month of December. And we haven't picked a day of the week yet, but I would assume it will probably be an evening show around the same time, one of those weekdays. So just stay tuned for that.
Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. We'll figure it out. We're going to be sending out the schedule to y'all. But you should be sending us some Ask Joes right now.
Yes.
So get on it. I do believe we have a few already. But before we get to that, let's just say hello to some people like T-Shoe, who is Detective Dreams and Grape Soda Wishes. That's definitely Chet right there. We got Bond. Paul Bond requesting a Christmas show. Not a bad idea, actually. Josh's Comics. We can't even afford that. Can't even afford that. Goonish Lurker calling shenanigans. Look at that. That's where my leftovers went. Chet ate your leftovers. Dr. Plagueis, who has it on the hunt, by the way. He did it again. Sets the template. Raw Dog Comics. We got D&T Comics and Collectibles. Holy Nikes, probably, Chet. Condolences to Chris. Yes, Tishu, I'm sorry. We got Raw Dog in the house, and as you all know, Pope of Chili Town is here. Spider Dude, we love you, especially for your involvement with. Oh, I love that. Ask Joe. Oh, never mind.
Oh, I meant to star that. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Caleb Leland. We got. Who else do we have? P. Keel, who was snipping in ASM 121, by the way. Oh, no, that's sniping, by the way. I just want to get the yo in from Bond. Paul. We already said hello to him. Josh is all about bringing Daphne Key. Yes, Comic Toby. I'm sure Chris definitely appreciates that as well. Who else? We got Brendan Riley, the collector without fear. Just wanted to say, in the immortal words of Happy Harry Hard-On, in case you know, talk hard. Later, boys and girls. Cute. All right, who else? We got Matt Stads Duhar. Sorry. Hello to you as well. Who else? We got 360 in the house. How about that? And yeah, so here we go. Why don't we get this going right here?
Let's get it going.
Thing that we do.
I'm feeling twang today. We're going with it.
This takes a lot of energy, everybody. I hope everybody appreciates what we do when we sing. Ask Joe! Wow.
Woo!
That was excellent. That was probably, if we were at the greatest hits of Ask Joe, that would be the number one. Probably.
That would be at least top 4.
I just want to actually just recognize something real quick here. D&T Comics and Collectibles had a pretty rough day today, fellas. So as you can imagine, I'm pretty happy to be here. We are happy to have you again. We appreciate you expressing how your day was, and we hope Joe and I, as well as everybody here in the community, can help make it better. So that's what we're here for. We like to just kind of get away from all those things in the world and talk about things that we love, comics and Philadelphia sports. All right, what do we got? We got 2 so far. Okay, here we go. Joe, when will studio heads realize that you would be perfect in the role of Lex Luthor?
So I hate to tell you this, because a lot of you don't see me in real life. I am 5'6".
Lies.
No, it's not. It's not. I am short. I'm just a little guy. And therefore, I don't think I would be a very intimidating villain in that particular role where you want
yourself short.
Good one. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know about Lex Luthor. I've got the hairstyle down. I've got the cunning intellect, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, I don't know if I have the
the
rest of the physicality.
Well, do you have the Lex Luthor kind of like scowls, like thinking scowl? Let's see.
I do have really nice eyebrows. Yeah,
those are really no. Seriously, they're very expressive. Take the glasses off for a hot second, please. Yeah, you're thinking up a maniacal plan. How to stop Superman. Can you deliver a line just real quick? This could be your screen test right here.
I don't want this to be my screen test.
Let's go. How about somebody give us a line? Actually, we'll wait for this one. I want this. Anybody?
A Lex Luthor line.
Yeah. Somebody write a Lex Luthor line. This is a screen test for Joe, even though it's already been cast, basically.
What's a good Lex Luthor line? I'm trying to think of I don't think he has an iconic line or anything.
Miss Tessmacher! That's from the first movie. All right, we're gonna move on to another one, and it's D&T Comics and Collectibles, and it seems like a serious question.
No, you may not have my ASM 14.
Why?
Because it's in my personal collection.
All right, the old original PC. Oh, Otisburg! That's another one. Somebody give us a Lex Luthor line. Something like, that would be, around this time as opposed to the 70s movie. Do we have any more? Oh, here we go. I like this. Josh's Comics. Thank you. What are your collecting goals for 2024?
Oh man, this is
Great question, by the way.
Yeah, this is always a tough one to answer.
I have an answer too because it says and Jeff too.
Yeah, I know, and Jeff too. You get to answer. I'm contractually obliged to let you. This is a tough one because I've become more of a go with the flow collector where I have like I have a lot of things that I want, and it's more like what will come up that's a good price and a good opportunity, and I'll hop on it rather than being like, I need this book, and this book. So that being said, I would love to get, right now I'm 19 issues away from ASM. So without saying any specific issues that I want, I would love to get that down to at least 15, at most 15, maybe even closer to 10. We can do like a primary goal of under 15 issues needed left in the run. And then, if that is too easy, we can try to get down to 10 or something like that. Also just always expanding my Golden Age collection. That's a lot of what I've been working on recently. And you'll see that later tonight in Fresh from the Comic Shop and definitely in next week's Fresh from the Comic Shop. But also just like learning more about that because the Golden Age, there's so much to learn that, I've been into Silver Age comics for so long and the Silver Age characters, Marvel characters, all that stuff. But there's so much to learn for the Golden Age that I haven't tapped into as much yet. So definitely working on that. Less as more of a, informational goal than a collecting goal.
I like that, Joe, actually. I like the Spider-Man kind of goals in that respect. I'm going to have to say for my goal, because I was in the hashtag as well. Dan De La Torre! My goal actually is I'm starting to get into, I've brought this up a few times in the past, 2 months to you, Joe, and a few other friends about how I'm interested in starting to collect original artwork. I don't know where to start, but John Byrne is my favorite. And I think I'm going to start investing in acquiring just some original artwork. And I feel like those original pieces are just like, I know Pope of Chilitown collects quite a bit of original art. I'm just excited to get something that this person has drawn that really pulled me into comic books just by his art. So I'm excited about that as well.
Yeah. And the nice thing about original art specifically is that, there's one of them and it's not going to get reprinted. It's not going to get, duplicated, and someone's not going to find a warehouse full of them. And, it's probably not going to fall out of favor either. If it's a popular character, that character's probably always going to be popular. You know what I mean? And that artist is always going to be popular, and that run or whatever is always going to be popular. If you're getting the right things. If you're buying like, something that's kind of a flash in the pan thing, maybe if you're buying pages from Something Is Killing the Children right now, we don't know. That run could get canceled in a year or two. The show could never come out for all we know, or the show could come out and be a major flop. If you're paying up right now for Something Is Killing the Children pages, you're risking it there. It's risking it for the biscuit right there, right? But if you're buying, you're mentioning John Byrne, if you're buying X-Men covers covers are expensive, but even X-Men pages or Alpha Flight or something like that, that stuff it's probably not going to go down other than just the normal fluctuations of the market.
Again, it's like a lot of people question why you're investing in, not you specifically in general, investing in modern books when Silver Age is the way to go. They're already established character storylines, etc., and they could be fleshed out into movies. There's a good chance that they are, for example, 48, 49, 50, and Fantastic Four, those kinds of things. But the original artwork is taking it a step further, in my opinion. And that's what excites me, especially be able to have it as a talking piece. I'm looking to, again, redo my studio here in 2024. We're also going to be rebranding the Canon as well. But yeah, so I would love to display original artwork. I'd love to have it as a talking piece for friends who may not be into comic books or whatever, and just explain what this person means, not only to me, but in comics in general. So there's that answer right there, but we have more questions to get to. We got D&T again, comics and collectibles. Ask Joe CBC. Joe, as you are aware, I suffer from pretty rough mental health. So my question is, do you think comic book retail therapy is a healthy coping mechanism?
So this is an interesting question, and yeah, I just want to preface this with, I am not a mental health professional by any stretch of the imagination. So this is just kind of my opinions on it. You use the words retail therapy, meaning that you're spending money.
I was like,
yeah, you're spending money here. Comic books are great therapy, whether it's just, a little escape for a little bit, or if it's, just the enjoyment, the entertainment of reading, the relaxation you get from it, the serotonin you get from, learning about your favorite characters and stuff like that. These are all good things. But you're talking about retail therapy. You're talking about spending money on comics particularly. You're not talking about reading comics here. So I just want to be careful with this. Is it healthy for you to spend money on things that you enjoy and that you get that serotonin boost from? Sure, absolutely. In moderation. And that's just a really important rule of thumb for everything. Whether you are someone who likes to, go out and throw back a couple drinks with dinner, or someone who wants to, spend money on comic books, or, whatever it may be. We all need our little escapes from reality at some point. But the important thing is to do it in moderation. Make sure you're not overspending. Make sure that you have money. One of the biggest things is just having a little cushion, for your bills. If you lose your job, if you get injured and can't work for a couple weeks, something like that happens. You have a big expense come up. Just make sure that, you got a little padding there. You don't want to spend every dime you get on every paycheck on comic books. As great as they are, you got to make sure that your priorities are in line.
Yeah, that's tough. Again, I never like saying I suffer from mental health challenges, but I deal with those types of things as well. And I find some of my coping mechanisms or things that distract me can become, rabbit holes, and I spiral back down, and it opens up a door into another doorway into a bad place. So just be careful of that, because retail therapy, to me, I don't necessarily think is it's a great distraction. It's not quite therapy. So just keep that in mind, because that's some serious shit you could definitely fall into, and all of a sudden you're down thousands and thousands of dollars because you're on eBay bidding on everything or what have you. So just keep that in mind. But as Joe said, it is a good distraction. It helps with the serotonin levels when you win that eBay bid, but just in moderation. Again, I'll emphasize exactly what Joe said.
Yeah, and make sure that you're getting more out of it than just the thrill of the purchase.
Yeah,
make sure whether it's reading the stories, whether it's learning more about the creators, whether it's organizing and displaying your collection. Like, there's so much more that can come out of purchasing a comic, getting it in the mail, opening it up, and throwing it in a box.
Yep.
And I see that quite often, unfortunately, with collections that I buy from people, where it is very clear that the book, it never left the bag and board. It never left the bag, sometimes from the store. Sometimes it never left the envelope or package that it came in. I've gotten collections where half the books were still in the the cardboard mailer that the person got it, whether they won it on eBay or ordered it from a comic store or something like that. Get your enjoyment out of it other ways than just the thrill of the purchase.
For sure.
And again, make sure the most important thing is that you're not overspending. You got to have your priorities with your with your dollars.
Within moderation. By the way, Vinny Whitlock in the house. We haven't seen Vinny Whitlock in quite a while.
Woo!
Hello.
Yeah.
Just want to say hello. Moving on. More questions. This one's great, Joe. If Comic Book Cannon got dropped into a Thunderdome, like Chet, Joe, and Jeff, what weapon would each choose, and how would it all go down? Joe, I have ideas. You want me to go first? I have my weapon.
I mean, like, how crazy can we get with his weapons? Because, like, I'm picking a tank if I can.
No. They're hand weapons. Paul,
Hand
please
weapons.
verify, but I would think that they're weapons you could hold in your hand.
Okay.
That you
Cool.
you have to fight. So like a sword or nunchucks or size or.
Okay. I'm pretty good with a bow staff from years of martial arts, and Donatello, my favorite Ninja Turtle, the one with the bow staff. That would probably be my initial first choice. Also, I can kind of like Darth Maul with it a little bit. So
Okay.
yeah, these are characters I like.
Yeah. Paul says hand-to-hand combat, Thunderdome, bro.
Hand to hand.
Yeah.
I mean, hand to hand means no weapons, but
what you just said, a bow staff is probably what he would.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bow staff seems good with me. Sure. Why not? I need the reach because I'm, like I said, I'm 5'6".
Yo,
Jeff's over there at like 6'1" or something.
Now, while I talk and give you my weapon, we both need to figure out what Chet would have and how this all would go down. I would have one of those Ghost Rider chains, right? Those Ghost Rider chains with like like some sort of sharp blade on the end, right? So I can get the distance. I can work it. I can get it wrapped around your foot and just slide you under your feet from under you, or I can get up close and get you by the neck, right? So that's what I would choose.
Okay. All right.
I would destroy your bow staff.
Oh, wow.
I would. There's
Wow.
nothing you can do.
I see how it is.
Now,
Chet
would have a club. I see him like with some sort of a club.
I see him just like shaking up a grape soda and spraying our face.
All right. So basically what would happen is you and I would team up against Chet, right? Because he's a large man, right? I would come at him from behind with the chain, get it from the neck. Then you would take the bow staff and boom, right in the stomach. I don't know if we're fighting to the death, Paul. You haven't really mentioned that. So we'll just leave it at that Joe and I would team up against Chet to bring him down. I don't want to think what would happen after that. I can't. It would hurt my heart.
Right.
It would hurt my heart. So we're going to move on, actually. If you guys want to finish the story of how things would go down, while we also think about this song, where is it? We don't need another hero. Oh, it's Tina Turner, The Thunderdome. The Thunderdome.
Sure. Is this a movie that I'm not aware of? This is an 80s movie.
It's Mad Max, Thunderdome.
Yeah, I've never seen a Mad Max movie.
Oh, God. Anyways, moving on. We have another question here. That was a very good question, Paul, though.
Paul Bond.
All right. Comic Toby. Does X-Men Blue #1 excite you, or because of Nightcrawler's origin? This is a big deal.
Yeah, listen, I bought it instantly. Obviously, I'm going to pick that book up, being a huge Nightcrawler fan. I'm not going to spoil anything about the origin, but I just want everyone to know, people are getting upset about this. This is the original intention of the origin from Chris Claremont.
That's great. That's really great.
This is not something, this is what he wanted to do, but he was denied doing back in the 1980s because Jim Shooter was a little strict on things that were being put into comic books at the time. And he said no to this, said you can't do it. So they did something else with Nightcrawler for a while. Then in the 2000s, they revamped it and went closer to what Chris Claremont was originally wanting to do. And then finally, it has been retconned to what the original idea of the character would be.
All I have to know, I haven't read it. I know what happens, but I just need to know the way it was done. Are you happy with that story?
Yes, I'm happy with the story, and also
The way it was
one-
executed too. Everything.
yeah, it's a good read. It's a great read. In fact, I actually just put it aside because I'm probably going to read it again because, and like I'm behind on reading comics, but I just jumped right ahead and read that one because I've got to. It's really good. We get some information about an Omega level mutant. We get information about Nightcrawler. Read it if you haven't.
That's good to hear. Very good to hear, especially because that is your favorite character of all time.
Truth.
Mark Lineker with the next question here. Now that pulps are going to be they're being graded and slabbed, will this be something you will add or add more to your PC and inventory?
So I personally don't collect any pulps. I do not have any right now. I'm not against them. It's not something that I would never own. But if I'm going to spend, like I'm into horror stuff, I'm into pre-code horror. And a lot of those horror pulp books are the ones that are more sought after. I personally think that if I had $200-$300 or whatever to spend on a comic or a pulp, I'm probably going to pick the comic over the pulp. Again, nothing against it. I'm sure there'll be a pulp someday that really catches my eye, and I'll get it. And who knows? Maybe I'll dive into that eventually. As of right now, I'm not actively seeking out pulps for myself or for my inventory. If they come along, absolutely. I'll buy them if I can get them for a good price, and I know I can, make a profit. Or if I see something I really, really like and I want to buy it, totally. But it's not something I'm actively going for. I will shout out Paul Bond, aka Brixco Comics. He's getting more and more into pulps. He's gotten a bunch of really cool ones recently. He posts them on his Instagram, so check that out if you're interested in pulps. And I think he's going to be doing a little bit more of that. So one nice thing about that specific, the fact that he sells comics, I sell comics. If I get pulps, I might just trade them to him for something that I want. Or something that I know I can sell, something that my buyers want. That's, a lot of times we're going off on a topic here, but a lot of times people who sell comics, dealers, vendors, stores, they'll swap stuff with each other because of what they specifically want, as well as what the people that buy from them want. So that might be a good opportunity for me in the future if I do come across some pulps.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I want to say what's up to Mike Hads. I also want to say what's up to Raising Elm and Outer Limits. You're pushing it. You are pushing it. You are absolutely pushing it.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, that was terrible. Moving on. Here we go. This is a great question here. Wait, where'd it go? Did we lose it?
Which one? Oh, is it this one? Sorry.
Very good question.
This is funny because I have had two different people call me Les Grossman before. I don't look anything like Les Grossman. For those of you who don't know, watch the movie Tropic Thunder. It's Tom Cruise's character, and he doesn't look anything like Tom Cruise.
It doesn't.
I don't really look anything like him. I just have glasses and I'm bald.
I don't know. I don't know. You don't have those like really fat hands either that he has.
I don't. I have really big hands though.
But they're not like fat like Les.
They're not fat. They're just
literally
way bigger proportionally to the rest of my body.
Yeah, and who would Chet be in Tropic Thunder? Jeez, he'd probably be the guy that exploded everything. What's his face?
I don't really remember much of that movie.
Yeah,
I probably haven't seen it since it came.
There's no way they would make that movie these days at all. I love this question right here. T. Shu, who should play Nightcrawler in the MCU?
This is so hard because
I know exactly who it is.
I know exactly who it is. It's go back 20 years and get Alan Cumming to reprise his role because he was absolutely perfect. Who would I like to see as?
I'm going to name an actor. You're going to be like, yes.
So I hate throwing out this actor because I've thrown out his name for a lot of roles. I threw out his name recently on this channel for playing Link in Zelda. I've thrown out his name to play Robin, and that's Timothée Chalamet.
Yes, 100%.
Was that you were thinking? Yeah.
Yes,
So
it's too perfect.
The hair, The hair's good.
Oh,
You know, the sleek, you know, he's real slim. I feel like he's probably pretty flexible. He's got the physicality to play the role. Can he do a German accent? That's to be determined. But yeah, I keep throwing out Timothy Chalamet for things because I think he's a really, really good actor.
I think he would be fantastic.
I'd like to see him as Nightcrawler.
Me too. 100%. 100%. Goonish Lurker. Are you going to address my Nick? I believe you said, am I the long lost brother of Nick Sirianni? That's a compliment. But no, I am not. Because I would not be happy with him tonight. Actually, it's not. It was a really tough game for the Eagles tonight. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know, T-Shoe. But Timothy Chalamet. Yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal. Like Jake Gyllenhaal 20 years ago would have been great, but Jake Gyllenhaal's like 45 now?
Yeah, but you need, that lanky look that Chalamet has, right?
Yeah. Which, to be fair, Jake Gyllenhaal, like in the Donnie Darko days, sure, yeah. But yes, I'm gonna stick with Chalamet for now.
All right, that's fair enough. And with that, we end this segment of Ask Joe. I don't think I could hit that note. I don't think I should have done that. Oh, that was good. You hit the falsetto. Maybe you do the falsetto next time. I don't think I should. Yeah, I don't think I should do that again. Anyways, we're going to move on to our next segment here that y'all know and love. It's called Chet's new comic book day picks. He will not be giving away that Detective Comics number 27. That is not happening. Not on our watch. Maybe he could go mine some Bitcoin or something like that and make it happen. But that's on him. But Chet, take it away with this new comic book picks of the week. Thank you.
Listen up, comic book peasants, and gather around your reigning monarch. I've descended from my mountain of knowledge to bestow upon you the gems of this week's new comic book day. Prepare to have your feeble minds blown. First up, Amazing Spider-Man number 39, where Spidey assembles a superhero team to take down New York's supervillains in 48 hours. Good luck, Spidey. You're going to need it. Next, we have Batman and Santa Claus Silent Night number 1, a gritty holiday tale where Batman teams up with a not-so-jolly Saint Nick to investigate a brutal crime in Gotham. Prepare for your holiday spirit to be crushed. Finally, Ozuna Bori 787 number 1, where a Puerto Rican private detective based off of real-life global superstar Ozuna tackles a human trafficking ring and joins a clandestine spy agency. Prepare to have your minds quiver, but don't expect to fully understand it. Your punny brains can't handle it. So there you have it, folks. These 3 titles represent the best of comic book storytelling. If you're looking for action, adventure, and suspense, then these are the books for you. Happy reading, you suckers. Shed out.
I have to say, I think Chet's wrong there. The Ozuna book is not coming out until next year. So Chet's never wrong, but he's wrong here.
Uh-oh. The AI is failing us.
It is failing us, but they still want to take over the world. So we have a little dilemma here, Joseph. We have one more segment, which is also a video, right before we do that final segment that everybody knows and loves.
We do.
We don't like doing video back-to-back, but we did not plan the show accordingly because I was a little distracted by the Eagles game. You were as well, coming home from your Friendsgiving as well. So, but I think we're just going to do it. And guys, we'll say it again. Take note because our good friend Dr. Plagueis does it right with his On the Hunt. Joe, would you like to explain what? That's not a good one, is it? But It's On the Hunt. Tell us what it's about.
So On the Hunt is a segment where we ask you, the audience, to submit to us via messaging over Instagram a video of yourself literally on the hunt, looking for comic books. This can be at a local comic shop. This could be at a local convention. This could be at a big con. It could be at a flea market. It could be at a yard sale. It could be at anywhere you can buy comics, even a thrift store, whatever. We want to see a video of you on the hunt, maybe going through a box, maybe finding something cool, pulling it out. You can make it simple and just have a quick video of you going through a box and finding something you want, or you can make it a little more complex with voiceover, cut scenes, whatever you want to do. Just make sure if you do add music, make sure that it's royalty-free music, music that is not copyrighted in a way that will get us in trouble or kicked off. And please keep your video 1 minute or less. And if you submit it to us, we will happily show it to the comic book canon community on our show. Dr. Plagueis has done a couple of these. I've done a couple of these. Josh has done a couple of these. I think you did one, Jeff. Jeff did one. So yeah, without further ado, let's show the example again of Dr. Plagueis is here. Again, thanks, buddy. We do appreciate the submissions because they are great and they show people kind of what to do. This is obviously an edited one. Again, you can be simple. It doesn't have to be extravagant or anything like that. But if you want to spice it up, you're more than welcome.
And roll On the Hunt.
This week on the Hunt, I check out Churchill's Books and Antiques in hopes of finding some comics. Right away, I find some horror comics. This place is filled to the ceiling with books and other collectibles. Vintage comics found. They had a ton of Wolverine Volume 2, which is a series I'm currently filling. Let's see what I got.
That was how you do it. By the way, I took a screen record from my phone. I should have edited it.
That's what we like to see. Not only did it showcase the books and stuff, also told us a little bit about the store. We got a little view of the front. We got a little pan around of the store. We found some comic books, and shout out to that one Wolverine. I forget what number, 24, I think. It's got a Jim Lee cover and Magic 4 in the background. I love it.
Oh, it's Jim Lee, yeah. But there's some Mark Silvestri in there. There's John Byrne in there. Love what you got to go on. And by the way, he's calling all you people out. He wants to see what you guys can do. As do I. What did he say? The voiceover thing is stepping out of my comfort zone. I'll tell you what, like you have a very, very
calming,
pleasing, calming
voice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Great for this segment and NPR, by the way. I have to say.
Yes, yeah.
That's a compliment. So, again, keep it going, please. But, guys, send yours in. Dr. Plagueis, I feel like Joe and Dr. Plagueis kind of molded this thing into what it is. And
he inspired it.
It's a very good segment, and I'm excited to see what all y'all can do with that. And if you have any questions, hit Dr. Plagueis up. He can tell you what software he uses on editing. I'm sure he does that with his phone and all of that good stuff. So, all right, we're going to move on, Joe, to the final segment of the show.
Ooh, my favorite.
Joe, I think you'll be proud of me this week.
What's that?
Of what I'm going to show off on a
Ooh, am I?
There's one you're definitely going to be like, oh, wow, that's out of the norm for you.
It's not Void Rivals number 6?
No, but I did pick that up today, by the way. I haven't read it yet. I freaking love Void Rivals, okay? I'm not showing it off. But what segment do we show these books off?
I believe it's called Fresh from the Comic Shop.
Live from the pressing salon. That's right. We ask you each and every week to send us in your fresh gets, and you never disappoint. We are so excited to see your fresh gets each and every week. And this week is no different. Not only do we ask you to send them in each and every week, but you can win a wonderful monthly prize from EGS Comics and Spider Dude Comics. Spider Dude provides the book. EGS slabs the book in a unique case, a unique product. Tony is the president of EGS, part of this community. And I'm telling you, these cases are fantastic. We don't bullshit you. We believe in this product. We believe in Spider Dude, and we're very appreciative that they sponsor this segment here every month. I'm just like ahead of myself right now. But what we will say is we did have 2 semifinals last week and the final that just ended today. And as I said, it's 2023. I should be able to download the actual stats who won. I seriously didn't even get to look because we were doing the show live. I just grabbed it, put it back on the slate here. The slate is this blue thing in the background. And let's see who it is. I seriously have no idea who it is. Joe, I don't even know if you do.
I don't. No, I don't.
All right, well, here we go. So it was Dr. Plagueis versus... Dr. Plagueis had Justice League Dark. Neighbor to the North had the Zelda. Here we go. What do we got? We have Dr. Plagueis with the win.
Woo!
Congratulations, Dr. Plagueis. We've been saying your name a lot in this show. You will be winning this wonderful, incredible Hulk #1 slab via EGS and Spider Dude Comics. Look at this Perez variant, a 9.8. You got the custom label up top right there. EGS does not mess around, does it, Joe?
No, it's beautiful. We say it every month. This slab looks awesome. Just like every month, the slab looks awesome.
It really does. We don't have December slab just yet. We will have that next week.
Yes.
I'm very, very excited to show that off to you. Joe and I don't know what it is, but Tony and Spider Dude, they do. So we'll get that to you as soon as we can. And speaking of EGS, please save 5% off your EGS order using the code Cannon5. I've been coughing a lot this show, Joe. Optional custom labels, as you saw. We'll just go back and forth. Look at this. You got the Hulk right there in the middle. You got the green text here. You got just everything is customizable in those labels up there. You do not see that with other companies. You get the free graders notes and fast turnaround times. EGScomicsgrading.com. Please follow them on Instagram and YouTube. The links are down below. Spider Dude Comics link is below as well. Shall we get into it, Joe?
I think we should get into it.
We should get into it because this will be the first semifinalist for December.
Right, and this is your last chance. We should remind everyone that we're doing a year-end winner as well. We're going back to all 12 winners from this year, all 11 that we have so far, plus whoever wins in December, and they're going to battle for the top spot, the yearly winner, which we're still working out the details on the prize for that, but I'm sure we'll do that sometime in January.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Again, I think we need to retool that just a little bit. We've all been super busy and have not been able to stay on top of it. So yeah. Anyways, we're going to start this one off with some festivities. Mark Leneker, look at you, Mark. 4-color 61 from 1944. Santa Claus Funnies. This was the first SC Funnies and Dell's Omnibus 4-color line, but it was preceded by 2 one-shots in 42 and 43. That's 1942 and 1943, people. The series showed up every Christmas season until 4-color ended publication in 1962. Walt Kelly cover has St. Nick telling little Billy, if he screws up one more time, it's going to be coal in your sock, buddy. Look at him, man. Again, Mark Leneker. Again, a unique book, which reminds me, we didn't even talk about our 3 criteria. This is
3 criteria.
Let's just start it off. The 3 criteria we look for. The first is get us a well-composed shot. Think outside the box. Get something creative going, something that relates to the book. Compose a artistic representation to show off that book. You know who does a great job of that? We say it all the time. Justin, aka Raising Elm. You're going to see another example of that this week, and the guy has already won. Once you win a month, you're not eligible for the rest of the year. But Justin keeps putting some great stuff out. So again, have a fun, creative, well-composed shot, well lit. Don't take a picture of it on your kitchen sink. Nobody wants to see that. We want to see something that relates to the book. Keep an eye out for Raising Elm. Joe, give us our second criteria.
Yeah, second criteria is we want to see something unique. Now, unique
like
does not mean $30,000. Mark Leneker does a great job. We just saw that Santa book up on the screen. That's a unique book, a book from the I don't know if it's later Golden Age or early Silver Age on that one, but nonetheless, I don't think I've seen that book before. And I know a lot of Santa covers, even in that 4-color run. I don't remember that green background one. So it's definitely a unique book. Now, like we said, doesn't have to be $30,000. It doesn't need to be a major key. It doesn't even need to be anything more than a dollar bin book, as long as it's something cool. I'm going to shout out Mark Leneker again. A few weeks ago, he showed that horror book. It was a Charlton horror book, Haunted. I forget what issue number. I think it was a Haunted book, but it had just a crazy cool cover that none of us had ever seen before. And I've been looking for that book ever since. Every time I see Charlton horror stuff, that's not a very expensive book, but it's a really cool cover. It could be, original artwork. It could be a rarer indie book. It could be something that just was, kind of flew under the radar. A self-published book. There's plenty of those out there, different creators self-publishing stuff. So give us something that we maybe never have seen before, or just is unique in some way.
Yeah. And finally pull at our heartstrings. Tell us what the story is behind this book, what it means to you. Let's say little Billy back in the 40s had this book right here, right? Let's say little Billy brought this book because he hung out with all the firemen at the firehouse, right? But one day there was a crazy emergency down at town hall where there was a big fire. And little Billy had to rush out because the firemen were like, hey guys, we got to get this going. Little Billy, you're in the way. Got to go, buddy. And he left his most valuable comic book, the one that he loved so much, with Santa Claus on the cover, telling this little kid to be good. He left it in the firehouse. And God forbid, who would have thought this would happen, Joe? The fire truck ran right over it.
Oh, no.
And there was gum right on the wheel of the fire truck. And it took it with it. It gone. But let's say little Billy in the 70s is now 37 years old, right? And he can afford to buy this classic book. And he drops a whopping $12 on it. Because inflation by now, I think, would be what, 482? I don't know. But anyways, that would be a good example of pulling at our heartstrings. The book that you lost in the firehouse in the 40s, you got it back in the 70s. Now, granted, Comic Book Canon was not around then, and it'd be hard to tell that story now because Billy would be probably 90. But just wanted to give you an example. Was that a good one?
As an epic example, man.
Good. I'm going to keep trying for those epic examples.
Let's get back to it.
What's that?
I said, let's get back to it.
Yeah, let's get back to it because we have another one. We have Comic Demon. With these Conan, Comic Demon loves some Conan, I'll tell you that. These Conan books are bloody awesome. If you haven't checked out the Sumerian, then jump on. They've been on top of this book. Looks old school, but it's on point. It really is. It looks like a Buscema piece of work, doesn't it, Joe?
Yeah, a little bit away. It kind of looks. Who am I thinking of? I'm blanking. I'm blanking on who I'm thinking of right now.
Not Barry Windsor Smith.
I could see Barry Windsor Smith a little bit. That's not who I was thinking of. It'll come to mind like at 11:59 when I'm like about to fall asleep. I'll remember.
Perfect timing. By the way, Joe, show us your first fresh get of the week, would you?
Oh, first fresh get of the week. Okay, so this I was at a small comic show yesterday. Myself, Pope of Chillytown, and Collecting Dude rented a table together. We set up, and I walked around to some of the other vendors. One guy had some cool artwork, original art that he made. And I bought a piece, and he also had some boxes of comics. I said, how much are they? And he said $1. And I went through there, and I grabbed a bunch of books out that were a good deal. He was just trying to liquidate stuff that he had. I came across a section, and there was an Infinite Crisis 1. There was an Infinite Crisis 2. There wasn't an Infinite Crisis 3, which is first Jaime Reyes. And there wasn't, but then there was a 4. And I was like, there's no way there's going to be a 5. Guess what? There was an Infinite Crisis 5 in there. So there wasn't a 3, first Jaime Reyes, but there was 5, which is the first Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle. Now, not only that, but it's the Jim Lee cover, which is the cover people want because Blue Beetle's on the front. And it is a newsstand.
Oh,
this is
hello.
From, what, 2006, maybe? 2007? So we're talking a newsstand probably around like 2% of the print run, something like that,
Wow.
2 or 3%. So, yeah, stoked to have found that. Now it's not in super high grade. It's not going to be a 9.8 or anything like that. But for $1,
Heck
yeah, yes, please.
Absolutely. That's a great pickup right there. And from what I understand, that's not even your best pickup of the week.
It's not. It's not.
That's a very good pickup right there. I have to say also, by the way, Josh's Comics 01, he's not messing around. He wants to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We enjoy hanging out with you with these shows. Okay, moving on. Who do we have, Joe? You don't know because you're not looking at the sheet, but I am. We got Pete Keel. Good old Pete Keel. I love this. Love it. I love me some Green Lantern too. Pete Keel. I was at the local comic shop late yesterday, and the guy was trying to sell this book. He means at the comic shop. They couldn't come to an agreement, so I followed him out of the shop like a stalker, and we made a deal. Now, there's something to be said about goals and obtaining your goals, but there's also something to be said about stalking, and that's not good, right, Joe?
It's not good to stalk people. Now, I definitely want to give Pete Keel some props. It would have been very inappropriate for him to turn to the guy in the comic book store while he was still in the store and say, hey, I'll buy the book from you. Not an appropriate thing to do in a place of business, but it is totally okay to leave the building and say, hey, before you drive off, maybe I can make you an offer. I've done it at my store a couple times, and they're welcome. They welcome me to do it. In fact, but I've been at the store before and they've come over to me and said, hey, we just turned down a collection. If you want to go talk to the guy in the parking lot, you can, which is really awesome that they've done that. Some places would kind of, be sour about that, but they've thrown me the collection before. And, in return, I often give their store props and I often tell people about their store and get people to go there. So, we kind of have that little symbiotic relationship. I don't have a brick and mortar. They don't have an online presence. So we can kind of, work with each other in that way.
Well done. I like the props. I like the perspective. I think it's all fantastic, but enough about you and Pete Keel and a little bit more about me. Here's my first fresh get of the week. This one I got today. And again, I've expressed how much I really enjoy John Byrne. I've never seen this cover before. I probably should have, but this Avengers cover by John Byrne, I love this cover. Look at that. I love the cover. Look at the Vision just putting his hand right through there.
Yeah, he was on a deadline for this cover. He was like, how can I take up a third of the cover and do absolutely nothing on it, but make it look cool as hell?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, there's no, you got no newsstand barcode there or even the Spider-Man thing. But
is it on the back?
I don't think so. Let me check. I did go through this book a little bit today too. I just love John Byrne. No, it's definitely not on the back because it's the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah.
There we go. But no, I really. I was also able to show my girlfriend who Monica Rambeau is in comic book because I was showing her where, it's a nice little 70s version of Monica. Probably the best look for Monica, don't you think?
Yeah, and this is when she was like really integral in the Avengers team. She was the leader of the team for a while.
I don't think during this time, but
no.
At some point she was. I mean, look, she's right there, and
Yep.
So, and I think
not during this exact time, but it was during the 80s like this.
And I think Star Fox had some shenanigans going on with She-Hulk.
Uh-oh.
That guy's a perv. Anyways, moving on. Who do we have? We got Josh's Comics 01. Josh is very happy with this pickup, and I'm sure that you guys will agree. It's a nice pickup here. Josh's Comics. League of America number 21. First meeting of the Justice Society of America and the Justice League of America. First meeting of Green Arrow and Black Canary. I was trying to do a wah, 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 but that really doesn't make any sense. First meeting and team up of Alan Scott, the Golden Age Green Lantern, and Hal Jordan, the Silver Age Green Lantern. First appearance of Dr. Fate and Hourman in the Silver Age. Crisis on Earth Part 1. Recently picked this amazing book up from Brixco Comics, a.k.a. Bond. Paul Bond. Justice League Volume 1 of the original run has so many key issues, and most of them are underrated and undervalued. There's nothing like some Silver Age DC goodness. Yo, I'll tell you what, Josh has definitely stepped up his game in terms of presenting his books, getting a well-composed shot, thinking outside the box. And I do believe he took this picture as it was falling in the air from an airplane.
Yeah, I believe he paid someone, private pilot, to take that up in an airplane and drop it down, and was able to just nab the best shot. And that's just how that happened. That's definitely for real, not a lie at all.
Nope, not a lie. I think that's how it happened. Well. Sonia Jardine in the house, or is it Zoe? We may never know.
Interesting.
We may never know. All right, moving on. Joseph, your second fresh. Oh, duh. He was skydiving.
That makes sense.
He was skydiving during sunset, by the way, too. Well done. Right. All right, Joseph, your second fresh get of the week.
All right, so someone in the chat whose name is Bond, Paul Bond. He was doing a blowout sale this past week, as many of us were, doing our Black Friday sales and stuff. He recently bought a very big comic book collection. In fact, a storage unit full of comic books. And because of that, he's trying to sell stuff fast. So he was given some crazy deals. And I got this one for a crazy deal. Now, this book is not complete. It is missing the Marvel value stamp, and it's missing the cover. But you'll know what it is even from that first splash page.
Oh, snap. It's a cameo appearance of Wolverine. It's got to be 180.
No, this is Hulk 181. Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine. Again, coverless and missing the value stamp, but this is the budget copy. This is the one that if you're looking for it, this is a great one to have. And the best part about it is, even though it's coverless, it's got Wolverine right here. And that was a Stan Lee thing. He was very big on this. He said, make the splash page as good as the cover, because people pick up the book off the shelf when it's, because they see the cover, but they open it up and they see the splash page first. And that is what is going to get them to actually buy it, not just pick it up, and look at it. So this is definitely a very cool splash page. Hulk 181, it's the Bronze Age book. And this is going to be an affordable copy for someone. I'm probably going to keep it for a little bit and read it and then pass it on to someone else.
Very cool. It's got to smell good too. That's kind of creepy of me to say. Moving on. Again, we mentioned this. In terms of thinking outside the box, getting creative with your shots, well-composed shot, have fun with it. Justin, a.k.a. Raising Elm. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
I like how he mimics the cover here, but we'll get into that in a second. Comic fam, I hope everyone got to spend some time with their loved ones during the Thanksgiving holiday. I've had my eyes on this newsstand copy of Spider-Woman issue #1 for some time now. During the break and like the very next day after the Madam Web trailer dropped, I got a chance to go trade some books at Games to Go, another amazing local comic shop I frequent, for this awesome issue. FOMO, he said, yeah, 100%. So what? It's been a hectic week, first week on the new job. So for my submission this week, I had to throw something on the wall to see if it's stuck. Get it? Much love, comic fan. On a more important note, let's all take a minute to send some positive vibes, thoughts, and prayers to Chris's journals and his family. As we kind of gave a little tribute to at the top of the show. Feel free to reach out to Chris. He really wanted to. We're dedicating the show to his father, and he really wanted, comic book canon is Chris, and he feels this is a special place as we do as well. So feel free to hit him up if you guys missed that little tribute at the beginning. But Justin, well done yet again. Joseph, if you don't mind, can I show my second fresh get of the week?
I will allow it.
Thank you. I was going to do it anyways. This is a book that just got optioned, and everyone's like, oh, it's a new hot book. And usually I don't go chasing after this stuff, Joe, but it was for $5. I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? It's Alien Leech #1. It says $10 right there, but there was a crazy deal. If you bought 2 $10 books, they were $5 each. And this was in one of those bins. So why not, Joe? It's in great condition, right? Joe, I see you judging me. I feel it. I feel it through the internet.
No.
Stop it, Joe. Not just chasing the FOMO books, the shiny objects. It was $5, Joe. Do you blame me?
No, $5, whatever.
I may read it too. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I don't know about that.
No,
You
I
don't
may
read
read it like right now. I may pause the show. We'll all
No.
stop down for a hot second, and I will sit here and read this.
All right. Well, since Jeff's going to read that book, I'll take over the show for the rest of the night. We don't need that guy mucking things up with his FOMO books. No, just kidding. He spent $5 on that's reasonable. You know, you can have people, oh, don't buy that book. It's a flash in the pan. But if you find it in a dollar bin or for $5, you know, whatever, you find it for a fair price, that's totally fine to do, especially if you're interested in you know, learning about the IP or reading it before whatever show or movie or whatever might come out, then go for it.
Yeah, I believe WB optioned this. I don't know for sure actually, but this was Epic Comics was kind of like the indie label that Marvel owned, as you can see right there. So it's interesting how these other properties that it's probably creator owned, wouldn't you think?
I very much doubt it.
Really? So
yeah, because
okay.
There were also with Star Comics and Epic, the two like major imprints from the 80s. They were a lot of them were like licensed products.
Okay.
But so I really doubt anything was creator owned by Marvel back then.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this property. I don't.
Yeah.
Anyways, but still pretty cool. Again. All right, we're gonna move on to the next fresh get of the week from the audience. Mike Hags. I like this. We got Mike Hags. It's that time again. Throw your sets up Saturday. Jeez, I thought you said throw your
pet.
Yeah. Hosted by and tagged by my brother, one collection down. Tagging everyone in on the fun. Tagged by so many props he's giving people. At a Comics for the top 31 top 31 comic finds of 2023. So I'm submitting issue 90, 98, and 100 since I've had 99 since I was been 5 years old. That's pretty cool. Some Copper Age classics, piggybacking off an earlier post this week and last week. But since I'm mad late to the party, and I just seen Across the Spider-Verse, I'm going with this set for the first 3 appearances of the Spot. Had to throw a Spider-Verse background for good measure. Well, I think this is well done. I really like what Mike has done here. Joseph, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is definitely a well-composed shot. Definitely has a cool story behind it here as well. I love the Spot. The book in the middle there, which is Spot's second appearance and first cover appearance, Spectacular Spider-Man 99. That was the first back issue that I ever purchased.
Really?
Yep. I was given a book for my birthday when I was 5. My dad took me to the comic store shortly after that. And I grabbed a couple books from like new books from the wall, which were unfortunately Clone Saga books because it was 1995.
The wall.
But, yeah. Right. But, at some point, I don't know if it was on that first trip or, sometime that year or something, but they had like a dollar bin, and I thought that cover was so cool. And that was, I believe, the first back issue that I ever bought.
That's very cool story right there. That could have been something that, pulled at our heartstrings because you probably would have lost it in your tree fort. And
I don't have the original one that I have anymore.
No, you were in your tree fort, and there were a lot of windows in your tree fort, and it was a windy day, and you put it on the ledge, and it just.
I had a tree fort. It did not have windows.
I was right about that then. All right, moving on, Joseph. Your third fresh get of the week.
It's a good one.
Let's hold off actually, because I think we can make it. We'll go to Scruffy Comics next. Let's do that.
Sounds good.
I should do my third fresh get and then you do yours because you.
Sure, we can flip flop this week.
Fine. Scruffy Comics. I love this right here. Scruffy Comics 69. I found this in a dollar bin last week, and it's Meteor Man, the movie adaptation by Marvel. It's not a very popular book or movie, but I do remember watching this movie as a kid and really enjoying it for a 90s movie. The movie had an all-star cast of black actors like the star and director of the movie, Robert Townsend, Don Cheadle, James Earl Jones, Eddie Griffin, Sinbad, and Big Daddy Kane, and so many more. This movie was the first black superhero film I had ever watched, so it made a big impact in my childhood because Meteor Man was like Superman, but even a bit better. He has all the same powers and had a few different ones too, like telekinesis, could even talk to dogs, and a really cool power is if he touches any book, he can know everything in it for 30 seconds and so much more. He really is the OP Marvel. He is, I don't know. Marvel had a limited series of Meteor Man with Spider-Man. And one of the issues, I think Marvel Cinematic Universe needs to bring Meteor Man back to life because he's a hero that we don't need, but a hero we deserve. Yo, that's so well done because you tell us what it means to you, what impact it's made to you. And I love Robert Townsend. Batty. You probably don't even get that, do you? But that's okay.
I don't get that, but I'll tell you a little story about Meteor Man. First of all, I had one of those in my dollar bin just a few weeks ago. And last time I did a dollar bin sale, someone pulled that out and got really excited about finding it. So it's not just Scruffy that is stoked on that book, reminiscing about that. I have a different experience with that movie because for some reason I was horrified of that movie as a kid. It came out when I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4. And I don't think I saw it until it was like out on VHS and I was renting it from Blockbuster and I was like, oh, superhero movie. Let's get this. And it's not that it's scary, but I think just for like a 5-year-old, some of the scenes were like just a little bit intimidating to me. And I was horrified of that movie as a kid and have not seen it since. So maybe I need to rewatch it now that I'm 33 and a little
I don't think
more
you'd be
mature.
scared of it anymore.
Yeah.
But Robert Townsend, he hasn't done, I don't remember the last thing he's done. He was awesome, man. That guy was hilarious. But I love this submission again. It hits a lot of notes right here, by the way. For sure, indeed. All right, my third fresh get of the week, Joe. This is what I was talking about outside the box. So my comic shop calls me up or hits me up and like, yo, I got that book you ordered. I'm like, what? I don't even, because it tells me the title. I'm just holding off right now just to keep the suspense going. Joe, are you at the edge of your seat?
I'm at the edge of my seat.
Thank you. But this is a facsimile. I don't know if you've ever heard of these before. Facsimile of Startling Comics number 49.
Oh my God.
Isn't that cool?
When did they put this out?
I don't know, but I think I read something somewhere and I'm like, I'm just going to get it.
This is one of the most iconic Golden Age covers that there is.
So that, an Alex Schomburg cover with potentially something that influenced Bender from Futurama. But yeah,
people joke about that all the time.
Yeah.
This checks so many marks. Golden Age sci-fi book, robot cover, Alex Schomburg cover. We got that good girl, lady in red art. That Schomburg is famous for, and wow, and it's just a beautiful, really appealing cover as well. I didn't know there was a facsimile of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is so cool.
Yeah. So I knew you'd be proud of me in a way, I guess.
I have never seen that. In fact, if you were eligible, which you're obviously not, because that'd be collusion. I would be picking that for the winner of this week because that's just so cool.
Yeah. I literally, I'm sitting at the counter today talking to Mark. I'm like, I didn't order this. He's like, you did. And then I was like, oh, I guess I did, because it fascinated me how iconic it was. And they said not many people know that they're printing this, they're doing this facsimile. And I was like, I'll just get it.
Was that a new book that just the facsimile just came out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know how long he's had it for.
Yeah.
But I think I had to special order it.
I'm gonna ask my LCS if they can get that.
Yeah, I do believe. Anyways, that's my third fresh get of the week. We are building suspense up into your third fresh get of the week. But before we do that, good friend of the show, Pope of Chili Town. What's happening? Lots of folks to thank for making this book happen. First, the good people at 3 Men in a Basement for inviting me to their most recent 3 Men in a Basement comic crawl, one of the premier events that brings together many great Instagram comic community members for a day of celebrating comics at stops all over Southern Connecticut. Second, the good people at Brickhouse Comics 2, who opened for us exclusively on the crawl and gave us an amazing bundle of deals, including an amazing price on this high-grade raw Silver Age key. Lastly, but not least, the good people at Spineworks Comics who took this beauty right off my hands at the event, gave it to their unmatched TLC, and got it graded and back to my door in, what's the word? Oh, yes, in a jiffy snap. Well done. 8.5. Not bad, I have to say. Not bad at all, Joseph, right?
Yeah. I remember that morning. I was on the crawl too, which, by the way, if you're not following, subscribe to 3 Minute in the Basement on Instagram and YouTube. Go do that now. After the show obviously ends, don't leave us, but definitely go give them a sub. Great members of the community that do these awesome in-person events as well as plenty of stuff online. But yeah, Mike showed me that book. He's like, yeah, I think I got a good deal on this. Like the condition looks really nice. And I was like, yeah, and I think I told him, I was like, I think this could be like, 7075. And look at that. Got even better than that, which 7075 for a Silver Age key is really impressive. 8.5, holy moly, that's even better.
Yeah, well done there, Mike. Well done. All right, we have some calculating to do in our heads as we normally do, but before that, Joe has hyped up his third fresh get of the week, and I can't wait to see what it is. Here we go.
It's a good one.
Joe, stretch. Stretch.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. A little Rocky.
Yeah.
Never hurt nobody.
Anyway, this I was, I guess, right place, right time, paying attention. I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups that have to do with comics, whether they have to do with collecting comics, selling comics, whatever. I enjoy comics, so I'm in those Facebook groups. Sometimes they're very toxic places. Sometimes they're very cool places. Someone posted a bunch of Silver Age books, Silver Age Spider-Man books for sale, and I was scrolling through them, seeing if there were any that I needed. Unfortunately, there weren't, but I got down, and there were a couple Golden Age books at the bottom, just hiding down there at the bottom. It was interesting. They weren't like near the top because you think Golden Age DC, that's some good stuff. This book was there. It was priced under fair market value. It looked and presented really, really nicely. So I picked this one up. Let's check this out. This is Batman number 17, 1943. It's got an awesome Batman and Robin riding an eagle cover, and it says, "Keep the American eagle flying, buy war bonds and stamps."
Crazy.
They were doing that, during World War II. They were, advertising war bonds and stuff, mostly on like Superman and Captain America covers, because those were like the more patriotic characters. But Batman does have a few of them. And this one, I just thought this is such an iconic cover. Jerry Robinson, and this is a little bit interesting. It says Jerry Robinson cover and art, but there is a Bob Kane signature down on the cover. He stole a lot of people's works. By stole, I mean he got hired to do the cover, but he paid Jerry Robinson to actually do the cover. He kept some of the money that he got paid and slapped his name on it, which he was known for doing. But let's take a look at the grade on this beauty right here.
Look at that, man.
4.0. And again, it was posted. It was already graded. And I kind of looked up recent sales, and this seemed to be at least a little bit, it's hard with Golden Age books because there's not frequent sales, but it's anywhere from a little under to a lot under FMV. So whatever. That's a great deal. That one's staying in the personal collection.
Absolutely. It's a cool piece of history too. Like that's the war bonds, all that stuff. It's just incredible how everybody kind of came together during that time.
Yeah.
Like in all genres, all types of ways, like you felt as one. And it's, we're not going to get political tonight, but it doesn't feel that way these days.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's unfortunate. Anyways, all right. So we have some great submissions this week. I mean, I'm going to say ineligible ones are.
Yeah, that's a beauty. And one thing I noticed about this that we didn't talk about is Spider-Woman's first appearance is in Marvel Spotlight 32, and this is a spotlight cover.
Yeah,
and there's a spotlight on the cover. I thought that was perfect. Love it.
So good, so good. Again, Josh risking his life by going skydiving and taking this picture. This one skydiving at sunset is dangerous. People don't normally do that, but Josh,
Like the glare, yeah.
I mean, he would definitely win tonight because nobody's ever done a stunt like this before. But unfortunately, he's ineligible. I have two that really stick out for me.
So I have three. Let me start off. Man, he always brings something good to the table. Mark Leneker with the Santa. That just, that time of the year.
Yeah.
Great cover. And I love, when you think Christmas, you think red and green. And we got the Santa for the red. We got the green background. Yeah. We got this like classic situation of a kid sitting on Santa's lap. Like we all went to the mall. Jeff, I don't know if you went to the mall and sat on Santa's lap very often.
No, but
you're not a Christmas guy, but
it's great.
Right. Okay. So there you go. Yeah.
I love it. I'm Jewish, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And honestly, I had Jewish friends that did that just, so they wanted to not feel left out. They wanted to try that. And, their parents were cool with it. So yeah, just so classic holidays this time of the year. And Mark Leneker showing us something very unique.
Definitely. He always does. All right. What do you want to do? You want me to go now? One of the
Yeah, give me one of yours.
Okay. I really like Mike Haggs and what he's done here.
Yep.
I just think it's fantastic how he's kind of put his set together and he's finally seen the spot. He's seen Spider-Verse. He's incorporated all of these elements in here. Like again, how he's shown off his books in this way.
Yeah, and it's cool. I love that he took two books that he recently got and paired them with a book that he's had since his childhood. Since the 70s.
That's the key right there. Again, tugging our heartstrings just a little bit. All right, you can go again.
Yeah, so that one I will say, Mike Haggs, was one that I had.
Okay,
Mark
Leneker, overlapping on one.
Mike Haggs, and then the third one that I have written down is Scruffy's with Meteor Man. Telling a great story, a great connection to this character in this movie when it came out, and finding this book in a dollar bin, that's even better. I love these stories of finding something that's meaningful to you, even though it's not an expensive book, even though it's not a very popular movie, like was mentioned. This is something that Scruffy remembered and really stuck out, and I'm sure the excitement. We talked about the dopamine hits to the brain. This is the best kind because it only costs $1 and you found something really cool and you're going to cherish that. So that one really stood out to me.
Yeah. This was my second one. I said I only really had two that stuck out. And...
Okay. So, we overlap on Mike Haggs and Scruffy.
Yeah.
Do we have a clear winner between those two?
For me, I'm definitely leaning somewhere because of the connection. Like one explained that it was part of their childhood, but another explained why it was part of their childhood, and that means a lot. You know what I mean?
I think that we're leaning in the same direction. I'm leaning towards Scruffy.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, we have a winner then.
Scruffy, congratulations! You're the first semifinalist in December for Fresh from the Comic Shop. You'll be going up against next week's semifinalists as well. Really well done all around by everybody. And I'm absolutely amazed at how people take this seriously, Joe. These books mean a lot to us, and we should take things that mean a lot to us seriously. But the lengths people go to and how they want to present their collectibles and share with the community, that means even more, and we appreciate that so much. Please keep sending these in. That's what makes this segment go. It's not about winning at all. It's about showing these things off, and I think a lot of you feel good in doing so. So please keep at it. But again, Scruffy, that really like what you said about this book, what it meant to you. Everybody, it's nostalgia for everybody, almost everybody here. But again, well done all around. Correct, Joe?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that, everybody, we are going to kind of close out tonight's show. As we said, we're going to have a different schedule for the last week of December in terms of the date that we will be broadcasting on. It won't be on a Sunday. Also, right. Joe and I are working day and night on a rebrand for the Canon. It's going to be we're going to boost up the production quality for the YouTube's most popular show of all time. 21 million people are still watching us right now, Joe, on a Sunday night.
I know.
Most of them have work tomorrow. So very appreciative of you all. Again, thoughts and prayers to Chris's family. Please send him a line. I don't know when he'll get back to you, but he is very appreciative of the support he has received in this community. So yeah, there's that. Again, I'm very grateful. I say it every week. It may be sick of hearing me say it, but it's the truth. And Joe, would you like to close out the night?
Yeah, man. As always, this show is great. I've had an interesting couple weeks. Lost my dog, which I don't think we've been on the show since that. I mentioned that she was not doing too well. But yeah. This show is something that every week I look forward to. I left the party early to come home tonight to do this show. That's got to be saying something. I left my Friendsgiving party a little bit earlier than originally anticipated, but coming home, doing this show, kind of a way to end my weekend and on a high note, and then get back to the work week and stuff. It's much appreciated. And like Jeff said, it's great to have you all here, and we appreciate your participation in things as well as your support. And I'm sure Chris is thinking the same thing, especially during this difficult time for him.
Yep, absolutely. So with that said, we're going to see you again next weekend, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific on Sunday as usual, except for that one last day in December. Let's make sure we mention that. Until then, everybody, be good to yourself. Please be good to others. Peace.